using the iPhone 14 Pro since the day it came out back in September of 2022, so it's been about 7 months now, and I've been using the iPhone alongside many other Android phones that I have and review. So let's talk about the iPhone. Is it Apple's best phone yet, or did Apple make a slight hiccup? Well, let's talk about it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the actual user experience. Unfortunately, the iPhone 14 Pro for me has been the buggiest iPhone that I have ever used. I'm not even kidding. And I say this as an iPhone fanboy, as people call me. I've been using Apple products since the iPhone 3GS, which is older, probably older than some people watching this video right now. So I've been using every iPhone since then. And from what I remember, I even went back and watched my old iPhone videos just to be sure, and I was right. The iPhone 14 Pro has been the buggiest iPhone that I have ever used. I'm experiencing so many bugs. I've experienced random photo gallery crashes, random AirDrop crashes, and freezes. I've experienced my phone rebooting several times for no apparent reason. I've experienced my iPhone getting hot for no apparent reason. I've experienced my iPhone losing signal in places where it shouldn't, like big downtown areas of cities. It just loses signal. Don't know why. And then I have to put it into airplane mode, wait a few seconds, take it off of airplane mode, then it connects. Then about 30 minutes later or so, it just loses signal again. It's been a ride. It's been like a really bad roller coaster ride. And those are just some of the things that I experienced. Okay, so other people are experiencing much worse, but on the flip side, other people are not experiencing any bugs. So, Apple, care to explain? Apple is missing that spark that they used to have back in the day. I used to be confident when I would say, if you bought an iPhone, you bought a finished product and it just works. Well, it doesn't. I'm sorry I'm going into a rant, but it doesn't just work as it used to before with older iPhones. I don't know what it is, but even my AirPlay sometimes just doesn't work. I don't know why. I'm sitting there on my iPhone. I want to cast a YouTube video that I found on my iPhone to my TV using the Apple TV that I have also. I click cast or I click AirPlay to the Apple TV. It doesn't work. It just gives me a red little sign with a little line going across it saying it just doesn't play. A lot of people are experiencing this. I went on Reddit. I'm not the only one. So Apple, the iPhone doesn't just work as it used to before, and it kind of sucks, honestly. Now, are things all bad with the iPhone 14 Pro? Of course not. For example, the video camera. The video camera on the iPhone 14 Pro is still the best out of any Android phone that I've tried. Now, Android is catching up. My S23 Ultra, it records really good video, but the iPhone still edges out just a little bit. But Samsung is catching up. In fact, for like the past 3 or 4 months, the iPhone 14 Pro has been my main camera on YouTube. I'm actually using the iPhone 14 Pro's front-facing camera to record this video. I'm not even using the rear camera. I'm using the worst front-facing camera. And honestly, nobody noticed. There's a microphone there. That's why I'm getting closer. No one noticed that I was using my iPhone. I went from using, hang on, it's right here. Let me get it real quick. I used to use this to record my YouTube videos with, and I stopped and I just went to my iPhone. It's easy. I just record a video like I am now. I click AirDrop, send it to my MacBook, and in seconds, it's on my computer ready to be edited. That simple. And honestly, not many people even realized I stopped using this and started using the iPhone. So that kind of speaks about the quality, I guess. Now, when it comes to the photography of the iPhone, not videography, but just straight up photos, it's fine. There's definitely a lot more competition in the still photography than there is with videography. So the still photography of the iPhone is good. I'm not saying the iPhone 14 Pro takes bad photos. It absolutely does not. But if you use point and shoot, like you just open up your camera and you click a photo, some of the times it is very over sharpened to the point where it actually kind of hurts to look at it, especially if you take a photo of like tree branches off in the distance or like grass. You'll see the blades of grass almost like glowing from how over sharpened they are. Luckily, that goes away if you use Pro RAW or RAW mode on the iPhone, but also you get access to that nice 48 megapixel sensor, which is really good. And also the over sharpening goes away with that raw mode. And you also have a lot more flexibility to edit the photo any way you like. But if you do a lot of point and shoot, you're going to be experiencing a good amount of over sharpening, which is bad. Is it just me, or did Apple just recently run into this problem? I do not remember the iPhone having a ton of over sharpening issues with like the iPhone 11 or 12. I think it started with the 13 actually. Same goes for HDR. The ultra wide, if you use the ultra wide camera on the iPhone, the highlights just give up. They just go out the door. I don't know what it is, but again, I do not remember that being an issue on the iPhone 11 or earlier. Well, I mean, not too earlier. I don't want you guys to compare the iPhone 14 Pro to like the iPhone 4, right? But with the newer iPhones, I feel like the 13 and the 14 have weird HDR issues with the ultra-wide camera. None of my Android phones are having that issue at all. Social media is also another thing that is just simply better on iPhone, especially when it comes to video. So if you do a lot of TikTok, a lot of content creation, the iPhone is still going to be on top. It just 100%. Anytime I upload a video with an Android phone to TikTok, someone already knows. They leave a comment saying, this has been uploaded from an Android phone. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So the iPhone is definitely the better phone when it comes to social media content. So if you want to get into social media, and especially with the amount of money people are realizing they can get on social media from entertainment, the iPhone is just simply going to be the best. It's no secret why a lot of huge creators with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus million followers on TikTok all use iPhones. I'm not the one saying that. They are. A lot of people say Apple's ecosystem is like it grabs you in and it doesn't let you go. It's like jail. If you use an iPhone, you're going to be stuck in jail if you get the AirPods and this and that. And that's not really true. I mean, it is, but it's not the only one. The Samsung ecosystem is just as good. Samsung also has their equivalent of AirDrop. Samsung also has their equivalent of AirPlay and stuff like that. So the Apple ecosystem isn't the only good ecosystem. You know, you can use AirDrop with an Android phone. Just get a PC. Obviously, if you get an Android phone with an Apple computer, you're not going to have AirDrop because those are two different machines running two different operating systems. So of course, if you have a MacBook, get an iPhone. If you have a Windows PC, get literally any Android phone and you will have AirDrop. It's basically the same thing. Saying that the Apple ecosystem is like the most powerful thing in the world, I mean, maybe, sure, but then you have to also say the same thing about other ecosystems. Any ecosystem is the most powerful thing in the world. So what about the battery health? Well, it went down to 94% in just 7 months. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I never fast charge my iPhone. I only use a MagSafe wireless chargers, and it went down to 94%. That is insane after just 7 months. I remember my iPhone 13 Pro Max only went down to 98 or 97% in a year, not 6-7 months like the iPhone 14 Pro that I've had. I don't know what's happening with batteries and iPhones recently, but man, whatever it is, I don't know. But a lot of people are experiencing no battery loss, so their battery health is still at 100%. Some people's battery health are getting a lot closer to 90%, like I am. So I don't know. I believe whenever the iPhone 15 Pro comes out, or just the iPhone 15 in general, my iPhone 14 Pro's battery health will be closer to 90%, probably even 89%. But I mean, I do notice this on a daily basis. My iPhone 14 Pro just doesn't last a long time at all. Another thing that I have to appreciate with the iPhone 14 Pro is the display. It is insanely bright. It's crazy actually how bright it gets outdoors, even in direct sunlight, even with a screen protector on, which obviously adds a whole nother layer to the display, which usually means you're not getting as good, like that crisp quality. But even with a screen protector in direct sunlight with a bunch of fingerprints all over the display, man, that display lights up. It is ridiculous how bright it is. So if you watch a lot of movies, a lot of video games, anything you do on the display, it'll just look super crispy. And that 2000 nits of brightness really comes in handy, especially in the North Carolina sun. I feel like the sun's like right over my shoulder at times. It's crazy. But also make sure you use a screen protector because the iPhone, well, actually not just the iPhone, but any new phone with the newest Gorilla Glass and whatever, they're very shatter resistant. But on the flip side, they're very like prone to scratches. Like you have to pick one. You either need a screen that's very good against dropping or a screen that's very good against scratching. For some reason, you can't have both. I guess that's just the chemistry of like the display itself. So the more shatter resistant the screen is getting, it's also getting a little bit more prone to scratches. And I definitely have a screen protector on my iPhone, which is already scratched up. So that could have been my display, but it's not. So in conclusion, the iPhone 14 Pro is an okay refresh. I don't feel like it's a big update, obviously. That's being reserved for the iPhone 15 Pro. So the iPhone 14 Pro is fine. I know a lot of people, like in my family or just in general friends, that didn't get the iPhone 14 Pro because they didn't even see a big upgrade from the iPhone 13 Pro, and I totally get it. I mean, the only reason I upgraded is because I review phones. If I wasn't a YouTuber, trust me, I would not have gotten the iPhone 14 Pro. I would wait for the 15 Pro, which is supposedly gonna be a much better. I mean, hopefully, we'll see, right? It's Apple, so I don't know. But yeah, if you guys have the iPhone 14 Pro, let me know down below how it's been treating you over these past several months, or maybe if you even got it on day one, let me know how it's been treating you for over 7 months now. And yeah, are you running into any bugs, any user experience issues, any AirPlay issues? Please let me know. Okay, please let me know if you have AirPlay issues because I feel like I'm going crazy with that stupid thing. And that's it. This was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.